Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We are back here with another episode.
Another one. Hey, Pistol,
This,
our receiver, hit my line. Hit my line.
what is up with you in this? When you bench your seasoned veteran quarterback this late in the season, it's sending a message to the team.
Then goes out. And now they want to play with some heart. They want to play with some effort.
I see why Doc got fired. If you're not going to make the adjustments of the coach, you need to go up and get up out of here.
Wentz has regressed. And it's a mental.
Disclaimer. He might have some outrageous, Max Kellerman type, things to say today. I don't know what he's gonna say, but the way he's starting off his video is giving me them vibes. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We're back here with another episode. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and appreciate you guys for showing love on our last video yesterday when we recapped some of the things that was going on in the NBA playoffs. And we're back here to do the same thing today.
Again, back at it.
Another one. All right, so last night the Knicks took on the Celtics where they beat them by 26 points. Jason Tatum left the game in the third quarter with 8 minutes left after being hit in the eye. After the game, Brad Stevens had this to say on the injury.
Well, he went back out on the court, tried to, kind of readjust to the light out there, and he was really struggling. He got scratched pretty good. It looks pretty red. It looks pretty swollen to me. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the exact diagnosis is, but obviously he's uncomfortable right now.
Nyshawn, if you were the Celtics, how worried would you be right now after hearing those words from Brad Stevens last night?
Stressed, worried. Shoot. We said it on the last episode. The Celtics played a great game one, and they still found a way to lose. And last night, Tatum wasn't doing anything before he got hit in the eye. They was down about 30 when that happened.
Right.
So, shoot, if I was them, I'd be worried because other than Tatum, I don't see anybody who can score like he does and kind of halfway keep the team in line and on track and try to keep up with the Nets. So, shoot, they might as well pack their bag. Well, they're going back to Boston, so
yeah,
they ain't got to go nowhere. It's about to be over real soon, in my opinion. Too much firepower for the Nets, for the Celtics to try to slow down or even try to keep up with them. So, I think this is a done deal.
I agree with you. I think this is a done deal, but they are going back to the Garden, and then Jason Tatum, he's getting 2 days off. That's going to give him some time for, that eye to heal up. He wants to stay in the dark as much as possible so the light isn't causing stress on that eye. But I completely agree with you, man. I'm extremely worried. Jason Tatum's eye, the only person that can really go, he had 9 points. Kemba had 17, but we still need to see Kemba in that 20-point, ball game range. They how you talked about in game one, they started off that game with so much energy. It's like they hit the Nets with the mean uppercut to start the match off, and it took the Nets 48 minutes to recover. And now this time, the Nets came out in game two and they delivered an uppercut to the Celtics. And the Celtics gave up 40 points in the first quarter, which is unacceptable. And they were never able to recover from that hit.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Celtics bench, they need to step up. They had 32 points total. Without that's what Jaylen Brown brings by himself, and we're trying to replace him. that bench needs to be that replacement. So they need to go for 40 for them to like really have an impact.
Yeah, just don't look good right now in Boston. They may be able to sneak a game in the Garden, but that's you got to have the big three to have one of the worst games of their career. James Harden got to go back to playing like he was in Houston with the game on the line for them to have a chance.
Whoa. Whoa, I did not know you were going to take it there. Good God.
Saying, he didn't have a good track record when the game was on the line.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. His game on the line track record in Houston is not good, but woo. I did not know you was going to take it there.
Hey, man. But shoot, let's go ahead and move on. The Lakers
this next topic, yes, sir. Go ahead.
This guy. The Lakers bounced back to tie the series with the Suns, one apiece last night. Anthony Davis finished the game with 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, and shot 18 of 21 from the free throw line, while LeBron James finished the game with 23 points, 9 rebounds, on 9 of 16 shooting. Meanwhile, for the Suns, Chris Paul only took 5 shots the entire game and played sparingly in the fourth quarter. How worried should the Suns be right now concerning Chris Paul's injury?
The Suns need to be extremely worried. Because in game 1, he only had 8 shot attempts. He started off the game slow regardless, and him and Devin Booker started that game off slow in game 1, but Devin Booker got it going a little bit early, and Chris Paul, with the injury he had, he was never really able to bounce back. He said he heard a snap or a crack, and so that led to him, 8 shot attempts in the first game, 5 shot attempts in the second game. I mean, every time he was coming out, he was getting work done on that shoulder. He even started the game off with the KT tape on his shoulder to try to relax the muscle so he could shoot a little. He wasn't able to go, and I thought he would be okay coming into the game, but then the lack of minutes he played in the second half, in that fourth quarter, especially when he played about 7 minutes and he didn't close the game, I knew that this was going to be a problem for the Suns. Because you gotta think about it, he's their floor general. He makes this engine go. Without him, this team reverts to a better version of what was in the bubble last year. And that team that was a better version of what the team that was in the bubble last year, that was a really good team, but they don't equate to the team that they are this year with Chris Paul healthy.
Yeah, you can tell towards the end of the game, his presence was really messed down the stretch when the Lakers made a run, and Phoenix wasn't able to get the offense going. They wasn't able to score it down the stretch. And shoot, at least for them to have a chance in this series, Chris Paul needs to be at least probably about 70, 80%. And that's just for them to have a chance, because LeBron and AD got going the last 5 minutes of the game, and Devin Booker wasn't cooking. They was double teaming him. So yeah, like you said, I'll be worried if I was Phoenix right now.
Yeah, and can I give my props to Cameron Payne right now? He played
he was getting right.
Yeah, he was getting right. He played a really good game. The problem is, like you said, in the fourth quarter when they ratcheted up the defense, the Lakers did. The team as a total wasn't able to handle the pressure, and that is where Chris Paul is so unique, because he gives them great pace. Now, they've shown a lot of growth over the years, because I was writing notes down the entire game, and one thing that I constantly kept writing down was pace. They played with such great pace until the Lakers started turning up that defense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, because that's how they came back and Mitchell took the lead late in the third or early fourth, I want to say.
Yeah, I got one more thing. KCP, shoot the ball, bro. Shoot the ball. Like, did you see how LeBron was getting on him?
Hey, all I was thinking, I was like, man, what did that man breath stink, though? That was all I was thinking about. Like, if you don't back up my face,
Bro, because KCP after that shot that hit off the backboard, I don't think he took a shot since then. I think he had maybe a layup, but that in the fourth quarter, him losing that confidence, he caused us to take 2 bad shots and caused 2 24-second violations. Shoot the ball, sir, please. I honestly, I don't care. As long as it looks good. If it's off to the right, off to the left, okay, pump fake, go to the basket. But if it's long and short, keep shooting it because it's gonna fall. It's on point. Shoot the damn basketball, please, sir. So moving on, somebody who they didn't have to tell him to shoot because he was letting it fly was Kawhi Leonard, and last night he put up 41 points, shooting 14 of 21 from the field and 4-7 from the three. Despite Kawhi's performance, the Clippers were unable to take Game 2 thanks to Luka Doncic, 39 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Now, Sean, how impressive was this win for the Mavs?
I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb, kind of a sketch right now. What I'm about to say, I ain't no bull. This is what I've seen. I don't think we giving the Clippers too much credit. This is the same Mavs team last year that took them to 6 without Porzingis. You have Porzingis now, and this team looks like a well-oiled machine. I mean, they're hitting their strides at the right time. Everyone's hooping. You know, Luka's gonna do Luka. Tripped up. You caught him tripped up yesterday, so he almost had one last night with 39.
Nah. I don't call him Trip Dub. Miss Trip Dub didn't join him last night. She was MIA last night. Miss Trip Dub was MIA last night. But go ahead.
And all their role pieces are doing what they need to do. Tim Hardaway had 28 points last night, hit a big three within the last minute of the game. Josh Richardson hit a couple late free throws to really seal the game. And Jalen Brunson, he was getting right in that first half, facilitating offense. And I don't know what happened to Kawhi on Luka, but Luka was doing Luka last night. And if Luka's doing Luka, then that opens up the floor for everybody else. And Porzingis, he didn't have as many points as I want him to get. I want him to get at least like 20. I believe he finished with like 15, 16. But like you said, he got to a little mid-range and go ahead and get back on the court because you can't contest that.
Right. That boy automatic from mid-range.
I saw this on Twitter, so this ain't my words, but Ty Lue is 0-2 in the playoffs without LeBron.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I really think the Mavs are a well-oiled team, they're well coached, and they're rolling right now. So Clips, I need to get it together.
Yeah, most definitely. The Clippers need to get it together. This win, I'd say is very impressive for the Mavericks. You know, I'm not saying, you know, it's far stretched that I'm surprised that the Mavericks are up 2-0 on the Clippers. No, I'd say it's very impressive because of how much the Clippers has hyped themselves up this season for this upcoming season from the end of the bubble last year when they blew the 3-1 lead to the Nuggets, all the way up to the beginning of this season, all the way up till now. You know, the hype behind them was so big. Oh, we got a new coach. We got Doc Rivers up out of here. We got new additions to the roster. They came out saying they were a different team. And guess what? They lied. This is...
So we're going to add them to stop the cap or...
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. They're going to be a stop the cap. They're going to be a stop the cap. So right now, to me, this is the same team as last year, great and promising in the regular season. And then when the playoff comes, they start laying ducks. You know, the Clippers, they didn't get any production from any other players besides PG and Kawhi Leonard. And PG and Kawhi, they did their thing. You know, Kawhi had the 41 points. PG had 28 points, my apologies. And then Reggie Jackson had 15. And then after that, ain't nobody else is in double digits. Where's all this help coming from? You know, defensively, they were terrible. And it's supposed to be the best backcourts, best best two-way players and wings forward duo on defensive ends since Mike and Scotty. And they getting exposed. You know, you said Tim Hardaway Jr. He had what, 28?
Yes, sir.
That's the same as PG. Who's locking that up? Who's supposed to be guarding it? If my man Kawhi is on Luka, then that means he should be on PG. PG should be on Tim. And Tim should not be getting 28 on PG from a team that's supposed to be supposed to have the two best two-way players in the game. So I think that's a problem. They look like they did last year, and that's a problem. They need to stop hyping it up, and they need to go out there and they need to go get some wins. I thought Rondo being there, a vocal leader, would be very helpful to them, especially in the fourth quarter and closing games. But it's starting to, and we know how good Rondo is. So it's starting to make me think that it's some other things that's, internal that we don't know about that's causing them to have these problems. And if Rondo can't come in and fix it, who can?
I really believe they're missing Trez and Lou. That was a whole lot of bench production that they're not getting right now. And like you said, only had three players in double digits.
Right.
Lou Will can give you 20 on any given night.
Right. That's why when we talked earlier in the year about the Lou Williams Rondo trade, that I was not in favor of it. You could have gave up Reggie Jackson and still a scoring guard, and now you're missing him.
Well, shoot. Well, tonight we have 3 games that would take place. The first game is between the Washington Wizards and the 76ers. Who's taking that game and why?
I got the Wizards taking this game. Yeah, I
need to hear this. I need to hear this.
I think they're going to steal a game. I think Westbrook, he's going to have a better game. Last game he only had 16 points and only 4 rebounds, which is really uncharacteristic for Westbrook. I don't think Tobias Harris will have the kind of game that he did in game 1. I think the law of averages will come back into effect, and he will drop back to his average. He was just hot that game and ended with 37. If you look at just the scoring for the players, and you don't look at the score, it looks like that the Wizards won this game. Like Rui Hachimura had 12, Alex Len had 12, Westbrook had 16, Neto had 7, Bill had 33, Burton's had 14, and then Gafford had 12, and there's two more players with Lopez and Ish Smith. They had 6. Like that's great all around scoring coming from the entire team. Everybody was putting in great production for the team. Now, when you go look at the Sixers, you got Tobias Harris with his 37. You got Joel Embiid with his 30. Danny Green had 11. Curry had 15. And George Hill had 11. And then everybody else is below 10. They have contributing numbers from players, but the contributing numbers don't pop out as much as when you look at the contributing numbers from the Washington Wizards. So I think the Wizards, they seen how they were going to play game 1, speaking of the Sixers, how they were going to play game 1, and they're going to make the correct adjustments, and they're going to come in, they're going to steal game 2, because I think Westbrook is going to have a way better game. 16 points below average. He had 10 assists. That's about on par, but we know he can do more.
I say the 76ers is taking this game. Like you said, the Wizards played a great game and they still found a way to lose. So, and shoot, who say Tobias can't heat up again? I mean, Ben Simmons, he only had what, 6 to 8 points. He did have
Yeah.
15 rebounds and 15 assists. So you throw in a couple more layups and dunks, and that's 12 to 15. And you said everybody else was playing well. Curry had 15. Hill had 11. I mean, that's a well-oiled machine, and I don't think the Wizards can play that well consistently for them to pull off a dub when they just played that well and still took a loss. And everyone, you said, didn't have where they needed to be for the 76ers. So I got the 76ers in this one.
Okay. We gonna see who right.
We're going to see. The second game is also at 7:30 and will be between the Knicks and the Hawks. Who's taking this game and why?
I got the Knicks taking this game. I think, they were very promising coming into this playoff series, really, really good team all around, and I think once again, the law of averages will come into effect. Julius Randle had 15 points on 6 to 23 shooting, and he averages 24 points on the year. Like, he 9 points short. I think, his impact will be more. He's the engine for that team, and when he gets going, he's going to end up being a problem for the Hawks, and they're going to have to adjust differently, which is going to open up more, which is going to open up other players on the floor. And we know Julius Randle, he is developing a pretty good, knack for hitting the open man. Nerlens Noel, he only had 3 rebounds. That's going to be an emphasis for this team coming into the game, that Nerlens Noel needs to get on the ball. Another emphasis for this team will be to not let Trae Young just get to the basket so easily. Like in game 1, when he hit the floater for the to give them the lead late in the fourth quarter, that was to win the game. He got to the basket so easily. Like, somebody's got to step up. They got to fix some rotations here and there. So I'm taking the Knicks. They got punched. They're gonna punch back. The 4 or 5 games always usually go to deep, 6, 7 games. So that's what I'm expecting to see here.
I agree. I got the Knicks with this one. I do believe Randall will bounce back and have a great game. And shoot, he didn't have a great game, and the game was still decided on the last second shot by Trae Young. Only difference is, I think you allow Trae Young to be Trae Young and force somebody else to shoot, force someone else to score, because they only had 4 players in double digits, 3 or 4. Trae, John Collins had 12, Bogdan Bogdanovic had 18, and I think Lou Will had 13. Other than that, everybody else was in single digits. So I think they did a really good job. Randall Dixon had to step up. Bullock had to hit a couple more threes, and Knicks going out the dub.
Okay. We're agreeing on this one.
Hey, let's see how we end it right here. And lastly, the game to end the night. Donovan Mitchell makes his return as the Jazz take on the Grizzlies. Who's taking this game and why?
So my whole basis on my picks for these 3 games has all been on law of averages, and it's going to be on law of averages again. I think the Jazz are going to take the second game. I think Donovan Mitchell will be a morale boost for the Jazz. Just seeing him on the floor, and it's Donovan Mitchell, so you gotta put some respect on his name. Like, no, we don't know what percentage he's at right now. He could be at 60, he could be at 80, he could be at 100%. We won't really know until he steps out there. They said that he did do some 3-on-3, and he was, slowly increasing the amount of work he was doing on that ankle. So their game plan is going to change with Donovan Mitchell being there, just because Donovan Mitchell, and he's going to draw a lot of attention. And here's where my law of averages point is going to come into play. They shot 25% from the 3 in game 1. We're talking about a team that is top 10 in the NBA in 3-point shooting. Are they really going to shoot 25% in back-to-back games?
No,
So that's why I'm gonna go with Utah. They, like I said with the Knicks and the Hawks, they got the Grizzlies, gave them a great punch to make them stumble, make them rethink, and it's gonna humble them. We got the number 1 seed. We're the best team in the league, best record in the league. Top 10 and 3-point shooting percentage, and we got beat by an 8 seed in the first game. They finna come back and try to. They finna come back and try to
at home too.
Yeah, at home at that. And Utah is not an easy place to walk into and play in, especially in the playoffs. Even though it's limited capacity, it actually
it didn't look limited to me.
Yeah.
Like Utah
Utah was more open than any other arena in the league. So that's going to be a tough place to play at. So I think coming back for game 2, it's going to be the Grizzlies might get waxed.
Hey, look, we on the same page once again, and it's great to see it. D Mitch being back, I think he's ready to roll, man. He don't miss some time in the regular season now. He missed the first game, and seeing that his boys lost, I think he's gonna have a little chip on his shoulder, and it's gonna inspire the rest of the team. And I do believe Dylan Brooks is gonna be on him for the majority of the game. And I don't see Brooks putting up 31 when Donovan Mitchell might get going and shoot. Brooks might get in foul trouble, and without that energy piece for the Grizzlies, I don't see them taking this game, especially that coming off a Jazz loss and they're still in Utah. And if Brooks gets in foul trouble and Donovan can get a head of steam going to the basket, that opens the floor for them 3-point shooting for that Spurs ball movement, swinging the ball, hitting the right man. And shoot, you're right, they might get waxed. Now I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, I really think they're gonna get waxed. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that Donovan Mitchell and Dylan Brooks matchup because I think yeah, 2 dogs. I think they're both about the same height, same build. Different skill sets, of course, but it's gonna be very interesting.
It will be.
Yeah. One last thing I would say, if I am the Memphis Grizzlies, we gonna test this man's ankle as much as possible to start the game off with. And we got to get switches on Josh, switches on Dylan, switches on whoever, and we gonna take him to the basket, hit him with a few moves to see how that ankle is reacting.
Of course, can't put slow-mo on. I don't think that doesn't work out.
Yeah, don't do that. Maybe you take him to the post. Maybe someone take him to the post. Then maybe.
But really do be moving in slow motion though, like
he do. Hey, but shout out to me and Nashawn. We were 3 for 3 yesterday in our pit. Yes, hey, let's see if we can continue the streak tonight. One of us is gonna be wrong. One of us for sure is gonna be wrong because we both picked opposite for the first game between the
Wizards and the 76ers.
Yeah, Wizards and the 76ers. But we gonna see how that turn out.
We're gonna see.
Hey, but another thing I want to say, appreciate you guys for all the views yesterday. That's the most views we've had in under 24 hours. So shout out to y'all. Hey,
I really appreciate y'all. Like for real.
We appreciate y'all. Keep doing y'all thing. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and we out.
And we out.